Good afternoon, Austin. Let's make some noise. Okay, we have like the challenge of keeping everybody like up after lunch. So you have our commitment. We're gonna make it happen. So couldn't be more excited to be here with Ashley and Fabio. Actually, the AI went crazy. So Fabio is from HP and Ashley is from Pizza Hut, not the way around. So
Fabio's gonna sling some pies.
Like, yeah, we decided to switch positions before coming here, right?
Yeah,
okay,
why
cool.
not? A little job trading. Yeah, I'll learn about some computers. Why not?
Learning every day.
And we're going to make this a conversation. Of course, there's a bunch of things being said, being shared about AI, and we promise this won't be another generic panel about let's talk about AI and what it is AI and so on and so forth. We want to make sure we go very specific on some real use cases on how AI is already transforming the way we're building brands nowadays, right? This is our game plan.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
So first, let me quickly introduce myself. I'm Gian Martinez, founder at Winnin. Winnin is an AI company. We started 10 years ago, way before the hype of AI. And the reason why I started this company, because I was there sitting on Ashley and Fabio's shoes. For 7 years, I used to work at Coca-Cola, leading their creative team. And I was struggling to understand how our brands could be more relevant for people. And I was trying to hire technology to solve this problem. I'm trying to hire a Winnin and couldn't find any solution. This is when I decided to step out and start the Winnin journey. Long story short, 10 years later, Winnin today is the global leader on helping brands to map culture and understand how to be more relevant for people. And we are lucky to work with companies such as Netflix, Google, AB InBev, Coca-Cola, Mondelez, amongst many others. So please introduce yourself, Ashley.
Hi, everyone. Ashley Travis, Pizza Hut. I lead our digital and channel marketing team across all things CRM, loyalty, web and app growth, marketplace aggregators, social community management. That was a lot. So good to see you. I'm glad to see a lot of new faces that weren't downstairs for my fireside chat. That means I can repeat some things and not bore you. So that's great.
Cool. So everyone, usually I say that I'm not the fancy part of marketing. So my responsibility is to guarantee that whatever you shop, whatever journey you have, it's good. Answers the questions and etc. So I have a pretty simple job. I just need to guarantee that 150,000 SKUs for HP are sitting in 3,000 different retailers around the world, and they are relevant to you, which is usually not easy. But now it's a little bit easier with AI. So that's one of the reasons of what the hell I'm sitting here.
And let's start with the main plate. So please, start with Ashley. Can you share with us some real use cases on how AI is already transforming the way Pizza Hut do marketing?
Yeah, I would say, so at Yum, so Pizza Hut, for those not familiar with Yum brands, Pizza Hut, KFC, Taco Bell, and the Habit Burger were all part of Yum brands. And AI specifically, and advancing our business through AI is a strategic priority for the entire global organization. And so we're doing that in transforming how we work. So Microsoft Copilot, we have Microsoft Teams, and we use Copilot. We have Enterprise Chat GPT, which has been really, I need to start using it more. You know, I'm old, so like breaking out of the Google habit is really difficult. And then we are actually using it in how we reach customers in a couple of different ways through CRM and personalizing our CRM journeys by leveraging AI, as well as we are in early stages of exploring how we personalize our web and app experience through AI, and then doing some really fun marketing activations, leveraging Gen AI, which we launched for the first time next week.
Amazing. This is spoiler coming. So Fabio, join us.
So what is HP doing? So HP has, again, a problem that I basically share. We do have 150,000 SKUs in 30-something languages. And the problem is that every time that we create product content, we are creating, and it's agnostic, right? But there are some things that are, again, once you go into deeper personalization, once you go into cultures and etc., some work, some don't. And things like, they're super simple. If I put one of the images for a specific product and I have a human there, a talent there, and it has the tools, it will not work in Japan. So what do? You shoot again? So these are the things that we're starting to do at HP. mostly around how do we get adaptation, how do we get content that is relevant to a specific culture, how do we make that personalization generate maybe 3-4% more conversion. And every time that I say 3 or 4% more conversion, everyone is looking at me, are you seeing that it's just going to generate like 3% more conversion on a campaign? No, this is retail, this is sales. So 3% over every single product at HP, it's a lot of money. Exactly. So it's how do you do that at scale in a way that it works? And usually one thing that I comment on AI, it needs to be machine to machine. If I start adding all the burden of, again, created over adaptation, by the way, creatives hate to do adaptation. You are probably creative, you are going to hate that, right? So these are the things that we're trying to avoid and guarantee they are more streamlined and are more machine to machine than they were before.
Perfect. And it's super complex to do, right? You were mentioning that at HP you have more than 150,000 SKUs. So imagine the complexity of managing customization at that scale, right? To truly understand, what is the right SKU, the right narrative, the right language to connect meaningfully with the different audiences right there, right?
Yeah, I remember the GBL team, Harman team saying, hey, we do every color, every aspect, I have products that look exactly the same, and they might have a screw in a different place. If that screw is in a different place and that image gets out, I'm going to get returns. And the sad thing is not just about, again, the ROAS. It's returns that are hitting my bottom line the next day. And again, it's generating bad social, et cetera, et cetera. So we need to find ways to use AI that I can rely on. So everyone asks me, and I get that all the time, hey, Fabio, why you don't do videos like Sora for our products? Why you don't do Gen AI? I say, I can put a unicorn flying on the moon. I cannot guarantee that is the specific product that I need to be there. So,
well, and with that many SKUs, it's really important. I think the hardest part about getting AI to work for you is your data infrastructure. Like it has to be super clean, and or it's going to optimize the wrong stuff. And so that's what we found in our early days, is that we had to do some major cleanup, and we still need to do some major cleanup, but you can do it in phases. It's like, okay, let's clean up this portion for how we're using it today. And then we have a roadmap now of how we continue to organize it in a way that allows us to put more variables into the system based on customer data, what we know about our customer, what products they've purchased, but then eventually be able to bring in third-party data into the ecosystem so that we can become even more personalized. So ensuring that you have that infrastructure really, really organized and clean and governed is critically important.
And this is a great point. Actually, I was fascinated when we were talking before, like the panel, and you're teaching us about how pizza was one of the first things that were sold on the internet, right? So at Pizza Hut, you have like a long history of data at home on, what type of pizza people want, when they order this type of pizza, and so on and so forth. So can you share more about how you are applying this knowledge into optimize and evolve the consumer journey?
Yeah, so our first use case leveraging AI was in an email campaign. We wanted to go super low risk, right? We're like, we don't know if this is going to work. We don't know if it's going to make us money. If it fails, what happens? So we're like, hey, let's do this against our lapsing customers because they're leaving us anyway. So if it doesn't work, we're not really out much, right? So for customers that haven't been to the brand in, well over 3 months, we already had an email campaign that was sequenced of like, first send this offer, then send this offer. Very, old school way of doing CRM. That was already in flight. So we said, hey, let's leverage the AI, and the variables that we created were the different subject lines, some with humor, some without humor, different products being featured, like different creative. We had 10 different offers that we put into the system, and we said, hey, we want another variable is day of the week, when it gets sent, time of day when it gets sent. And it created over 1 million different unique combinations that was delivered through our CRM out to customers, and then was was just constantly learning, so that we started to identify the right message at the right time to the right customer in order to get them back to Pizza Hut. And we saw an 11% increase in transactions. So an 11% increase of people that were leaving the brand already, getting them to come back. And because we had offers in the system, we also have to look at net revenue, because we don't just want to, give away the farm in order to win people back. So we had a 7% increase in net revenue from this customer base. So it really, we're like, oh, there's something there. AI works. So now we are expanding it to additional use cases like onboarding customers, adding push notifications in addition to email, our deals page on our app. How do we ensure that that's being optimized based on what we know about a customer, an existing active customer, what they tend to purchase? I mean, ideally, if you're always purchasing the same thing, that is the first thing you see and it's saved in your cart. I mean, so we have some steps to go to get there, but we see a roadmap ahead now that we've proven the business case.
This is amazing. And at Winnin, one of the most relevant use cases we are learning with our client partners is applying AI to design your community strategy, to understand what are those different communities that are out there that are relevant for your brand. Because a brand as Pizza Hut, as HP, they are relevant for a very diverse set of communities, right? So understanding what are those communities and how to be relevant, how you measure the relevance of your brand within each one of those communities. So we've launched this metric called share of attention, so you can understand how relevant your brand it is in that context. It's one of the most strategic appliances of AI. And we have a surprise for both of you, because at Winnin, we found like 2 examples of amazing communities. One for HP and another for Pizza Hut that I want to share. Just a video. We have a video there. Oh yeah, look at this. One of the coolest communities that is going on pizza now is Pizza for Kids, So there's an entire universe going on of people creating pizza experiences to make that moment, that ritual with your kids more enjoyable, more emotionally engaging, right? So another example that is pretty cool, can we go next? It's for HP. I love it, that one. It's like creative uses of printers. Have you seen this type of thing? So there's an entire community exploring the borders on how you can use printers. And in this case, a lot of people from home decor universe, like using printers in a very creative way. So those are just 2 examples, but I just want to use them as a context to talk about the importance of also using data and AI, of course, to be more precise and segment better your messaging and your product and so on and so forth, but also to deliver more joy for people, right? So connect at an emotional level. So how you see this, Ashley?
Yeah, so next week, we are leveraging Gen AI in a customer-facing way for the first time, in partnerships with Meta and AI Studios, creating a chatbot that helps you have fun during March Madness. So we've been part of March Madness for many, many years, but we've never really done a digital activation. It's just been a sponsorship with the media investment and on-site slam dunk contest. But we want to be part of the basketball conversation. And so we have to show up like we belong in basketball. So we're leveraging AI in 2 ways. One is we're leveraging AI to create a 3D rendering of a digital mascot, that we're creating the real life mascot as well. He'll show up at the tournament. But his name is Huddy. He's a digital rendering of this mascot, and starting Selection Sunday, you'll be able to chat with him in your Instagram DMs. And he knows all about basketball. He used to be a D2 point guard. He hates hot dogs, but loves pizza, of course. And he will just drop knowledge. If you ask him who he thinks is going to win the game, he's scraping the internet for like stats and giving you his predictions. And you can just chat and interact with him, and it just brings people joy. And he's going to start to learn who your favorite team is. And when your favorite team loses, send you a free pizza and be bummed with you. But also when your favorite team wins, have fun with you. So really owning that second screen throughout the tournament. And so we're really excited to kind of see this come to life and see how it does, and just leverage the technology in new and innovative ways to have fun with customers and create relationships with them that go beyond here's a BOGO for the entire tournament, like most brands do. So we're looking forward to it.
Amazing.
Our side, we start from the back, that we say, which is, again, we know that we have this massive community. It's a highly democratic brand, and highly democratic, highly customizable, et cetera, and we started from what can we do with AI today, and that was the biggest challenge, because on, I would call more the advertising, you can tweak things. Once you go online, once you go retail, you cannot. You're really getting to a point that you're like, I need to guarantee the fidelity, what is going to be there. Because again, you're buying something online, you don't want to receive something else. It's completely different, it's a different mindset. So we did the opposite. We started, what can AI deliver today? Guarantee that we can push these out. And a lot of people that we hear today is like, great, I have this massive idea, how can I put into place? And we start to put all these ideas into places in, again, smaller audiences that we could control a little bit more. You start to get the feedback, the insights, and start to see, for example, one thing that we did a little bit of hallucination in part of the AI, just to see how people react. Do you know how many people really care about the small hallucinations? Everyone looks at the big pictures. We are humans, right? And then now that we can do these and we know that this is possible, we're going to the experience that we want to deliver. For example, how do I get this community? How do I get someone in Japan that is not a techie person? How do I get someone in US? By the way, every time that I go shopping, and probably shopping PCs, how many of you guys really understand what is written over there? So we're still, again, talking about the future, going to the moon, and we're not answering your questions. So right now for us, it's now we know what can be done so far. Sadly, I cannot use Sora to put a laptop on the moon that is exactly the laptop that I need. I can do a unicorn, but not this specific laptop. And we're working backwards. Great, now that I know the capabilities, we test all these capabilities. What are the ones that we can apply? So we are starting one by one, e-commerce, specific locations, and now making it broadly to the world.
I love that, because the truth is that we are here with two very sophisticated leaders in our industry on applying AI into today's brand challenges, right? And I'm sure there's a bunch of people here that wants to learn exactly that. Like, what is the journey I need to take to get into, that level or even further? So you both agree and share already the importance of starting small, piloting, with some control, learning, validating, and then scaling. And now I know both of your companies, they are already in a moment where they are, okay, how we put governance out of everything we do around AI, right? How we centralize the decisions, for instance, of what kind of partners we're going to bring to work with us. So can you please share your learnings on the journey of building that AI-driven type of marketing?
Yeah, I think so. We at Yum, we have a centralized MarTech Center of Excellence, and we've centralized all AI activity across all of the brands, not from an execution standpoint, but from kind of a governance, best in class and scalability standpoint within a Yum Center of Excellence that lives under our digital and technology organization. And so, like, if I'm going to do any AI project, I submit a form in Monday.com to just let them know about it, and then that way they have kind of oversight of everything that's going on, and they'll let us know if there's anything we should be concerned about. Then we meet every single week across the brands to share our roadmaps, what we're learning, so that we can learn from each other and scale each other's winning efforts across different brands. But I think, for us, because it's been prioritized at a leadership level, like, we're putting those systems in place, and it's allowing us to move very, very quickly across brands. I think the challenge is, if you're working for a company that maybe leadership hasn't quite bought into it yet, it is finding partners that will maybe do a POC with you at a small scale and proving out that business case, and making sure that you are bringing the technology in to an area that needs fixing or can really drive business impact. Because all leadership cares about is that you're driving results, right? So if you're really trying to prove the business case, identify the right area where you can really have business impact, so you can build that out and prove to leadership that this is something that we need to invest in and grow in further.
For us, started with something that we call super narrow use cases. And we really define, hey, what can the technology deliver today? And we decided to tackle those. right? So how many of you guys here heard, please be careful with AI from your leadership? It's pretty common, and I heard myself. I don't know if you heard that also. Be careful with AI. But again, once you show the numbers and you show that people are reacting to it in a different way, people tend to get happy with that and change their minds, right? It's not everything that brings 3, 4, 10% more sales the next day.
Yeah, I mean, ask me in 4 weeks. If you launch something and you don't get sued, you're good, and you'll get more freedom the next time. So, after March Madness, can check in, and we'll see if I'm still going.
Amazing. And what's missing? What you both are looking to to do with AI moving forward? Like we spoke a little bit about the importance of connecting primary data-driven insights with third-party data-driven insights as an example. So I would love to hear a little bit about that. What do you love to see coming next?
Yep.
I think for me, everyone comes with the concept of hyper-personalization. I would love to see hyper-personalization.
Yeah.
But every time that we say hyper-personalization, from a bring bank perspective, you are always careful what you're really going to allow to go out with machine-to-machine only, right? I would say I want to see hyper-personalization working in a way that you have really, really, I'm not going to say zero hallucination, but low hallucination. But our focus right now is moving from one-to-many to one-to-some, but in the future is one-to-one. And now I think the biggest challenge is we can do it.
Yeah.
If we allow ourselves to be a little bit more specific on what we are asking AI, it's doable. So just for you guys to have an idea, right now, we always had a problem that we would get one video per platform. In HP, I cannot use the one video for platform for every single product that we have because, again, that platform might have some different things like a different portrait, etc. Not just that, if I do a video at a platform level, it's too generic, it's too vanilla, it's not really helping you. But again, it was really hard. It was a 2,000, 4,000 video depending on what I needed to create. And just for you guys to have an idea, we can create videos for $50. That was not even close of what we were spending on rendering before. Now it's doable. So I can get into video generation, 45 seconds for $50. Again, narrow your use case. That's what we had to do. We really had to say, I'm going to allow AI to go up to here. Maybe a little bit more, I'm going to do RPA. I'm going to do really automation. I'm going to do a little bit of template. But it's allowing me to guarantee that I get a better journey to everyone.
Yeah, it's really about relevancy, becoming more relevant to every customer that touches your brand. And, we tried personalization years ago at Pizza Hut. We had a huge team of people that we had segmentation and manually creating different journeys for different segments. And the ROI just wasn't there. Like we had all of these resources to try and do personalization for, yes, we were seeing an uplift, but not to warrant all of the effort that went into it because the technology didn't exist yet. Now, to your point, we truly can leverage personalization, how we've always been talking about it in marketing. Like, the future. Well, the future is here and you can actually do it. I think, for me, if I look at the vision, I want at least 75% of the digital touch points with our customers to be hyper-personalized, to be based on what the contextual, what we know about their purchase behavior. There's always going to be that 25% where we need to tell them about new products and introduce them to new occasions, etc. But right now, 95% of what our customers see from Pizza Hut is the same as the person sitting next to them. So we have a long ways to go to get there, but starting and biting it off in chunks is what's going to be so important.
And I'm going to jump on something that people usually don't say, but actually was super clear. If your data is bad, your AI will be bad.
Yes.
So every time...
Garbage in, garbage out, always.
That's what it said.
Absolutely, and I fully agree with both of you. There's something we're seeing on the journey of enabling mass customization is the importance of don't lose the human lenses on it, right? Because when we look at the most relevant brands in culture nowadays, the brands, for instance, that are leading the share of attention at Winning, there's something, they're from very diverse set of industries, but they have something in common, that they have been able to nurture communities. The role of UGC is key. So they are using AI, they're applying AI not only to optimize what the brand is saying, but most importantly, on how they nurture those communities to inspire people, to engage people, so more people will talk about their brands in a positive way, right? So I would love to hear a little bit about this perspective of the role of the human being in the roadmap of mass customization.
I mean, I think it has to be your North Star. I think if you're doing it just to do it and just to get business results, it's not going to take you very far. The connection to humans, the connection to being relevant and has to be your North Star for everything you do. Because if not, you are going to become an irrelevant brand no matter how much AI you have in the system. So being customer centric and building out the use cases, building out the strategy always has to be customer centric, or you shouldn't be doing it.
So I'm going to go on something that, for me, the word is relevance. You're only going to be relevant to someone if you know them, right? But I think what we're getting to is that you can now be relevant to so many people. Again, you just need to know them. It's just like, for example, you said UGC. The easiest way for me to understand what you guys are looking on a product, I just need to look at Amazon questions and answers. And I need to answer the question. And I see a lot of, but we're going to do AI and we're going to do X, Y, Z. And I'm like, no. I want to guarantee that I have Jan's question or Ashley's questions. I'm answering them. I'm treating them as a human. So usually what we're transforming our pages is to give you guys the experience that you get on Best Buy from a sales rep without needing to talk to a chatbot, right? Sorry, guys. But again, I think this is the end game. The end game is I would love to be treated as a human. I would love to be relevant to someone, and I would love for that brand to treat me like that. So if it's AI, if it's personalization, if a copywriter, whatever, the only difference now is that you can scale. But the core is exactly the same. It did not change. AI is just one of the tools that we're using.
Because it's usually not the tech that's bringing joy to customers. It's what you're providing to them, right? For us, it's pizza. And so it's really just about getting them the pizza that they crave, when they want it, and how they want it and the flavors that they want. And so at the end of the day, making sure that you're doing that and you're doing it in a way that's uplifting and bringing joy is important. And so I wanted to come here and bring joy to everyone here at South by Southwest. So for the next few days, you can download the Pizza Hut app, enter South by Southwest 25 at checkout and get a free personal pan pizza. So SXSW25, all caps. So, everyone loves a little PPP that you grew up with. And so, yeah, I just wanted to make sure.
Round of applause for this. Thank you so much. So we are reaching our last 5 minutes. So I want to make sure we have time for questions from the crowd.
Can I bring something that it's...
Free computers?
No, it's about pizza. Yeah. Sorry, guys. I did not bring the computers with me. But let me bring you something about Relevance and Pizza Hut specifically. And Gian is also Brazilian. I just figured out that Gian is Brazilian. Did you grow up in Rio also?
Yes.
Okay. So once Pizza Hut got to Brazil, it was a premium brand. A really premium brand. Would you sell Pizza Hut the same way in Brazil and in North America? No. So this is exactly the things that we're seeing. It's maybe the perception of a product that you're selling, the brand that you're selling, has nothing to do. I have completely different perceptions for HP in Brazil, in Mexico, and here in US. And today, we just put most of the time global ads, right? Now that can be changed. Now I can do something in Cologne. Now I can do something that it makes sense for Romania. I can pick up some trend that is coming up over there, right? And I can bring to the products, which I never could in the past. So I just remember that because I remember seeing Pizza Hut and vision that I have, what was relevant to me was a high-end restaurant in Brazil. Remember that?
Oh, it's true, absolutely. So let's go with the questions. Please raise your hand. We have a question here. Thank you. Let's go.
Hi, this was a great session. So thank you so much for your time today. I just want to know, how do you think AI can help eliminate biases that sometimes humans may not be conscious to?
Can you repeat? Sorry, it's super low over
Sorry.
here. There's a lot of noise over there.
No problem. How do you think AI can help limit biases that we may not be conscious to?
That's a hard one. But we still believe in the human in the loop. Okay? And for HP, for example, the human in the loop sit on the market itself. Okay? I'm Brazilian. And this is one of the reasons why they put me in a global role. It was exactly because I could understand that a Jetta or Pizza Hut in Brazil was a super high-end restaurant and could not be the same thing here in US. So we believe in this human in the loop. The only thing that we're trying to do is to guarantee that that human in the loop don't spend so much time rebriefing, redoing. It just can pitch data back, and then you're going to get what you need. But again, also, secondary, we try more than one LLM. Some tend to be different than the others. That's a technological way for you to do something like that.
Yeah, from an optimization standpoint, I mean, I think that's its job, right? It's like it's just relying on data based on the algorithm that you build behind it. And so it's not taking any biases into, because it's just all data driven. Gen AI, I think, is a harder one. We're going through that right now with this chatbot that we're building and working very closely with like legal and PR and training. And it's all about how you train it. So how do you train it to not have biases? And that's something that we're all like learning on together. But for us, specifically for basketball, it was, hey, you are just as knowledgeable about the women's tournament as you are about the men's tournament. So it didn't become biased to only talk about the men's tournament. We wanted to make sure that the folks enjoying the women's tournament can have just as much fun. And so it's thinking through, hey, what are the different scenarios that could sway it? And let's make sure to put some training into it. And you're just gonna have to learn as you go. You can't set it and forget it. And so for the next 4 weeks, I'll be on my phone a lot and just testing. And we have been testing it. I've asked it to talk dirty to me, and we've asked it very about politics and religion to just see how is this going to react. And you just have to do constant testing and constant training. And maybe you'll get surprised, but you have to have a team of people ready in order to learn as you go.
I think it was a great question. Happy to go deep on this after the talk, because it's exactly what we do at Winnin, removing the human bias on it. But I would just add, as Ashley was mentioning, quantitative data to make the right decisions is key. But there are some specific metrics to discover what is not necessarily big, but is growing faster than anything else. And there are things that you should probably pay attention to. So again, happy to go deeper on that later. Any other question? No? We're good?
Very good.
Any final message for the team? So final advice for everyone who is here, please.
Final advice on AI or pizza?
On both.
Oh, okay. On pizza, just enjoy it, have fun, eat a lot of it. Of course, from Pizza Hut. No, for AI, I think it's like, just don't be afraid of it. Like, it's not, the technology is not going to come and steal everyone's jobs. Is it going to take over some jobs and tasks? Yes. Like, it's going to take over those menial like jobs and tasks that are very executional. But that frees up resources to really, and people to focus on actually what they probably enjoy more. And that's being creative and coming up with ideas that they can plug into the tools. And so it's just going to change jobs more than it's going to take over. Because I know there's a lot of people that are just really afraid of it. I deal with that every day. And so I'm like, don't just educate yourself and learn. And we're all learning together. I knew nothing about AI a year ago. And so you just like, it's completely possible to learn and grow with it.
And you have 5 open positions in your team.
I do. I'm like, we restructured. I'm hiring. So look up Pizza Hut jobs on LinkedIn, and I want some awesome talent.
Cool. Myself, I think, is the same thing. Try it out. What do you have to lose, right? Even to yourself, to your personal brand. Try it out. what you're going to lose. Again, if you are trying to make that happen into your company, select a narrow use case, right? This is how everything started. No one has the final answer, the right answer. And again, the test that we're saying, who likes to take the trash out here? Oh, I love to take the trash out. Would I give to a robot? Yeah, I would give to a robot, right? But I think it's happening right now. I think we are getting to a point. The best thing that happened with AI for me, I don't need to open tickets with my analytics team anymore. I'm a data-empowered marketeer. And from that, I can create more. I'm creating more today than I was creating before because I was opening tickets. I was trying to get answers. And now it's right there. So my 2 cents, try it out. By the way, if your company is saying you cannot do externally, check it out with your IT team. If you have something that you can use internally, that most companies have an internal LLM. Most companies are sitting on Azure, on Google, and you can do it.
Yeah, I would say start with your current MarTech vendors. A lot of them are like creating tools in this space, and they're looking for brands to partner with to kind of pilot them out. So instead of going externally and thinking you have to find money and research, like talk to the teams that you already have, and they might like want to do a free proof of concept with you because they want to prove out the tool themselves. So that's where I would start.
And the winning team will be here all day. So please, if you're interested, ask anyone, can you explain a little bit more? This is my final advice. Thank you all. Have
Thanks,
a great
everyone.
session.